Hey everybody, this is Jonathan Latt, and you are listening to another episode of the Perilous Podcast. And joining me, as always, in the Bunker of Doom, it's the co-host, Angie Carrier!
Hey!
Hey, what's going on?
Nope, not much.
I thought you were going to use your new catchphrase.
No, I'm not using that one.
No?
No.
Really? Come on.
No.
No?
No, thank you.
Alright, I'm trying to get her to say Hitler was right at the opening of every show, which I don't
If we weren't living under this administration, maybe it would be funnier, but even so.
Alright, fair enough. Alright, and you are listening to the George Street Shuffle by Kevin MacLeod. Get all your royalty-free music at Incompetech.com. Oh, how about, it's my co-host Angie Carrier, and your first words are, I'm going to F you in the A. You know, I'm trying to get something that'll fit on a t-shirt for you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so then we start making podcast t-shirts.
Yeah, you know. Greetings from Kekistan. That's a good one. No? It's like you don't want my help at all.
I don't understand that.
But anyway, so we'll be listening to a little more of George Street Shuffle on the outro. And last week I got off on a bit of a tangent because the President of the United States drives me fucking insane. I hate that guy. God damn it.
Yeah.
God damn it, Kyle. But this week we're going to talk about what we were supposed to talk about last week, which is aliens.
Yeah.
And in general, you know, we can talk about specific cases, and we should really dig into more of those eventually. But you know, it was funny. I was actually trolling. I shouldn't say trolling. I was more like trawling through the Yoptops, through the YouTubes. Hi Yoptop. And it struck me as interesting that everybody talks about aliens. Are they here? Are they not? And whatever. But no one really seems to talk about, well, if they are here, what can we expect?
Yeah.
Like, what would that alien civilization be like? If they are here, why don't we know about them? Like, why would such an advanced race deal with the government at all? Why? Why wouldn't they just make themselves known? I mean, if they're
Wait,
so...
are you presuming that if the aliens are here, they've already talked to the government? They're not just like living among us?
No, I'm saying let's talk about the different scenarios that could be plausible. Maybe they are hiding, living amongst us. I don't know, you know, but then we have to talk about, well, what would an alien really look like? And what is the possibility that an alien would be a bipedal, humanoid-looking creature? I mean, think of the biodiversity on this planet alone. Think of you know, we don't think about that too much, but you know, because we're the dominant species, everything looks small when you're at the top of the pyramid. But this is not necessarily the most efficient shape.
No.
You know, 6 legs we'd run a lot faster. 4 arms we'd get a lot more work done. 5 eyes we'd see a lot better. You know, so what, considering, just, you know, think of everything between a bee and an elephant. Okay, so on one side you have a bee, on the other side of the spectrum you have an elephant, and everything in between. Frogs, lions, monkeys, dolphins, birds, all different types of birds, different types of fish, the crabs, lobsters, humans. We're just one of many forms. Some are far less efficient than us. You know, thumbs are helpful. You know,
people do without them.
No, I know, but thumbs are helpful.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I think we became the dominant species is opposable thumbs. That's way more helpful than you think it would.
Yeah.
It's like when I broke my toe, my tiny baby toe, my pinky toe, a few months ago, and you don't think the pinky toe is doing a lot of work until you don't have the pinky toe, and then you go, oh yeah, you know what? Really, I'm very proud. It healed sideways, which really freaks people out. I didn't say it wasn't, but it's really fucked. It does not look good at all. But what I'm saying is these things that you don't think are all that important. I mean, without thumbs, How would President Trump spend his day?
I know. He photoshops his hand bigger over his heart. Did you see that picture?
No.
Oh, we don't have to go back.
Okay, let's not get distracted.
But,
you know how easily distracted I am.
Yeah.
But so what is actually the chance that if aliens are coming to this planet that they would even look remotely human? It's minuscule. It's minuscule. Unless we are not from Earth.
Right. That's fair.
You know.
I think I always kind of assumed that if they were here, then they would. I guess it could be like one of two things. They could be shapeshifters, and I know that's like very Men in Blacky, but it is kind of like if you are already an advanced species, maybe there's like a cloaking mechanism of some sort. So either that or invisible or on a different kind of plane.
Right, an interdimensional. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that but again, remember, we're talking about something so bizarre that every theory is
plausible.
Yeah, well, maybe not probable, but
plausible.
Plausible.
Yeah. I didn't say probable.
But I
didn't say probable.
Oh, so I apologize. I apologize.
Yeah.
But let's talk about that real quick. So what could we expect an alien species just societal wise, sociologically, what would an alien species be like? And I think there are certain things we can assume, which is that yes, they would have to be highly advanced technologically, but also they would have to be highly advanced socially, because as we know, local space exploration ain't cheap, man.
Right.
So one of the problems we have as Earthlings is just the money involved.
Yeah.
And in order to really get out there and explore the stars, you are going to have a one world government, a one world culture. So we can not know, but we can logically assume that any spacefaring civilization is a monoculture by the time they really leave their solar system. Just you know, and if they're a monoculture, they've probably gotten past money. You know, like we even talk about now, and it's in the fringes where, you know, a mandatory minimum income for people just because society's changing so fast. You know, which would in the end be a positive thing. But when we can talk about that some other time. So we can assume that they're a monoculture. We can assume they are highly technologically advanced because the only way to do it is to be able to bend space and manipulate time. The distances are too vast. So if you know, sure, you could put people in suspended animation or send probes like we do, but it's, you know, thousands of years to traverse. So if there are these living things, you know, societally, they would be highly organized in advance, possibly even sort of like a hive mind kind of thing. But would they look humanoid? Would they look like a spider, or would they look like a blob?
A cat from outer space.
Or a cat from outer space. If you know.
Like, ever watch that movie? I was obsessed when I was a kid. It's
What?
like from like 1978.
What?
The Disney movie, The Cat from Outer Space.
No.
The cat controls the space. I mean, he talks. He's great. It's a really.
I'm meowed of you.
Yeah. No, he doesn't refer to any meows.
Oh, okay.
He's just his ship crash lands here, and they gotta get him back.
How does the government capture him?
I think he's the government. And
they distract him with a ball of yarn.
And somebody just sent a screen cap over at work of it.
Is this a Disney movie?
It's a Disney movie.
Of course it's Disney.
So there's a patch on like one of the government officials, and it's a 3-headed dog, which is just kind of funny.
Yeah.
Because it's like
the dog's chasing the cat.
Yeah. Okay.
That's terrible. That's very funny.
It's great.
I will check it out. But you know, so because that's where I have the big problem. The only way aliens would really look like us, you know, like the Greys, you know, the Roswell aliens, may actually be artificial intelligence. Like they're made to look that way because it's the closest approximation
Yeah.
the aliens can come to, and also if they're not really alive, they can send them vast distances or whatever. They just may be a very highly advanced space probe, but the chances of an alien species having 2 eyes, a nose, 2 ears, a mouth, 2 arms, 2 legs, genitalia even remotely looking like our own, hairless bipedal monkeys is fucking slim.
Yeah.
Really slim. But if they are highly advanced, I certainly don't disagree that they could have cloaking technology or whatever.
Or even that they just, they evolved themselves to look like us if they wanted to explore, something like that.
Right.
Like it.
Or they create these artificial beings.
I never thought about that before.
You know, I mean, well, you know, again, to bring up one of my favorite topics, which is sex robots. Which
well, there's just a news article about the sex robots.
Oh, really? Good forward to it.
Well, yeah.
I love sex robots.
These men, like, at this conference, like, literally assaulted the sex robot so much, it's, like, destroyed beyond repair. Like,
assaulted meaning
like
they
they
fucked the
just,
hell out of it?
yes, and, like, just, like played with it so much and, like, this. Like,
you mean sexually or just, like I have Legos?
Yeah, well, maybe both, I think. That
Okay,
it's like destroyed.
But, you know, you can't really assault.
Well, no, I'm not
Sexually
saying it. I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying that they.
Was this a test, like Samsonite luggage?
It was like at a conference, yeah.
But they like took a bat to it to see how durable it was?
No.
Okay.
No, like they like played with it too much that it like, yeah.
Well, but that's sort of again. But my point with the sex robot. All great technological breakthroughs come through masturbation. No, if you really think about it, the reason the internet is so prolific now is because guys really wanted to masturbate. And porn is not the big thing anymore on the internet. We are actually moving through this phase now where the internet is being used. There was a time where the only reason you used the internet was to email or download pornography.
Yeah.
And now we're getting, you know, sure there were the people that would hang out on educational forums. Pussies. But we're actually getting past that. And while it's becoming, and for a while it has been the social hub, and of course it's being used for terrible things like fake news, real fake news, not President Trump's idea of fake news, which is people that disagree with him, or paint him in I'm sorry. But we're in this weird area where we're finally getting past the main thing is not pornography anymore. It's exchanging of ideas and information and whatever. And pornography is always going to be there because men are always going to be men.
Yeah.
And women like pornography too.
Right.
Even though they don't admit it. Although some do, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to get off every now and again. But like when you look at VHS, you know, the videotapes, that was all pornography for the longest time. And the reason VHS beat out Betamax was way more expensive. It was a much higher quality videotape. But the porn industry, over anything else, determined that it would be VHS over Beta because they could produce it for cheaper and distribute it more. But then we got past that.
Yeah.
And you know, when you first would rent a movie, like if you wanted to buy a video of a movie, it was like $200. It was insane. I think it was Top Gun that sort of broke the mold on that, where they decided, you know, let's just sell this thing for like $39.
Yeah.
But for years and years and years, the main reason VHS became the dominant thing was because of porn. And you can see we've moved past that partially because the internet killed the porn industry in VHS, but we had recently the battle between DVDs and Blu-ray, and we couldn't choose. Like usually it would just be DVDs because they're cheaper.
Yeah.
But they realized, you know, okay, we can actually do both, and porn has nothing to do with it. Never, ever watch high definition Blu-ray quality pornography. you will never masturbate again. All of this stuff needs to be watched from a distance.
Yeah.
On low quality video. Ew. Like oh God.
Yeah.
But when you look at sex robots, what are they trying to do? They're trying to approximate, and again, it's not just men. They're making man sex robots for women.
Mm-hmm.
And sex robots will be very popular for two reasons. Once they're perfected, A, they can clean themselves. So that's helpful. B, there's an off switch.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're a man or a woman. Having that off switch on your partner, that's really amazing.
Yeah.
You know, oh, I just want to click. You know, I just want to watch football. Click. But where the sex robots will really lead us, and what people don't really think about is, you know, they're developing these guys that are spending all this time into fucking something that isn't real. Are really trying to develop, like, they're on the cutting edge of interactive artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Okay, and that whole thing, I am fascinated with sex robots.
Yeah.
Because that whole thing is just blown over, no pun intended, constantly. Because it's like, because everybody goes, oh yeah, she'll be able to react to you and this or whatever, and then everybody goes, yeah, but vagina and boobies and you're objectifying women.
Yeah.
It's literally it's just masturbation.
Yeah.
It is literally just a sex toy. But if the AI gets sophisticated enough, it becomes something different.
Yeah.
If the AI gets sophisticated enough and it becomes sentient, then we have a real problem.
Westworld.
Well, Westworld, but are they really sentient on Westworld?
We don't know yet.
Yeah.
This next season.
Oh, hey.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we will get there where we could literally build, you know, facsimiles of humans that don't die and send them into space.
Yeah.
To explore other you know, solar systems and galaxies and whatever. And so, you know, why wouldn't somebody else be able to develop something like that? And so but again, are the beings that are sending these things, the Greys or whatever?
Yeah.
Are the Greys the beings, or are they this sort of very efficient robot?
Yeah.
That they think kind of looks human? Because if they're very alien to us, even if they know what we look like, maybe this is like as close as they can come where they go, eh, good enough.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know, but
they've allegedly cut open these things, right? And they don't seem to have any kind of, in our eyes, technological parts.
Well,
but it could be that it's like, well, because they can make organs that are
right, and at some point, what will we be able to tell the difference between, you know, technology? Like maybe they are, quote unquote, alive, but they're just grown in a lab.
Yeah.
I mean, we're already, you know, what was that thing that you're growing ears on the back of mice, and we're growing organs and stuff like that, and so, you know, we'll get there.
Yeah, it's cool, but it really gross.
It's a little gross.
Yeah.
But then, you know, then there's also the argument about, you know, well, the government could never keep a secret, and yeah, you can.
Yeah.
The government can keep a lot of secrets.
Yeah.
I mean, they really can. And the government is not the government. The government is people. And that's where people go, well, yeah, but people can't keep secrets. Yeah, you can. If we think there's like this massive group of, you know, hundreds of people that are involved in the quote unquote alien conspiracy, there's probably 7 at any given time that really know what's going on.
Yeah.
And everybody else is either killed or told to shut the fuck up or whatever. You can definitely keep a secret.
Yeah.
And then somebody was like, well, but if these things are so advanced, why wouldn't they just make themselves known to the people? They wouldn't care about who our elected leaders are, which is true if they're a benevolent species.
Yeah.
Like, we can't assume that a high level of technology and a high level of societal organization comes with benevolence.
Yeah.
They could be dicks.
Yeah.
Like they could really be assholes.
Right.
And yeah, it makes sense then if you're an asshole to collude with.
Well, and if you think of them as a similar level of species as like what we have here, there's hierarchies in almost any kind of species. Bees, like for one, like anything. There's like a
right, but even, like even in a hive mind with like bees, yeah.
So they get it. So they would go after the government because they understand like hierarchically there's somebody who I should go to.
Right.
Right now they might be a little confused with how America is.
Well, but that's the thing is, but it's the naive assumption that the person in charge is the person you think is in charge.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like they're going to the president. They're not.
No.
They're not going to the prime minister. They're not going to the chancellor. They're not going to the king.
Or the Pope.
They're not going to the Pope. They're going to, there are temp government jobs, like the president.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are lifetime government jobs, which are these dudes at the Pentagon or in the military-industrial complex that they don't get elected, they don't get appointed, they don't go anywhere. They will be there for 40, 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the people in charge.
Yeah.
Those are the people with power. Those are the people you talk to, and and also there's a sort of did they contact us, or I believe something happened at Roswell. So let's say an alien ship did crash at Roswell. Well, we now, and it was unintentional. Well, we now have your tech.
Yeah.
We found it. We have it. We're going to find a way to contact you. Maybe we made contact with them, so we got your stuff. And so then there is this liaison, this connection. So, for people that go, well, if aliens were here, we'd know it. No, you wouldn't.
No.
Not necessarily.
No, I don't think I've ever even thought that.
What?
Like that we would know it if they were here. Like, I mean...
Well, but using that as proof that they're not here.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like going, no, of course they're not here because people can't keep a secret.
No.
Why would you government? No, there are a lot of reasons.
I mean, I have low faith in the government right now, but I still think there's people that could hide.
Right, but again, you have low faith in the president.
Yeah, that's
and the American people.
And his administration.
And his administration, but no one in his administration knows the truth.
That's fair. I mean, I think when we were talking about the moon landing being faked, like
or
that,
not,
or not, yeah. But I definitely thought that there would be no way that like 300 people could keep that secret, like from NASA. But like something like aliens, like this, it is going to be a smaller group, and then yes, they could keep that secret.
Yeah.
But when it's like watching the whole launch, like it's a little less plausible to me that like hundreds of people could keep a secret.
Yeah, no, but again, the reason the moon landings weren't faked is we have proof they weren't faked.
Right. No, yeah, I know.
No, and I know you know that.
Yeah.
But there is ample evidence, in my opinion, there is ample evidence that when it comes to things like Mars, like we talked about on the Mars episode, and even the moon, that NASA does cover up information that would lead us to believe that there is evidence of a past civilization, and even what are they called? TLPs, transient lunar phenomena, or other lunar phenomena that are airbrushed or fixed. But again, that's not hundreds of people. That's one guy and his assistant and a pen going over that stuff. But also remember, they're NASA. People talk about how NASA is a public agency. It's not.
Yeah.
If it was a public agency, there would be no classified files. But there are.
Yeah.
So, and they talk about, well, if, every NASA spokesman will come out and say, well, if we knew about aliens, we would come out and say it. That's the greatest scientific discovery ever. And it would totally increase our funding. You lying sack of
No.
shit, because you're getting black budget military funding.
And War of the Worlds, man. They know what happened when that happened. There's already some fake news story that shows them proof of how the American people would react, or the world, if something happens, even if it's not malevolent or
Right.
whatever.
Well, you know what's really sad about that is I really do believe that there was a time in, let's call it a window between 1995 and 2000, where we were really engaged in intellectual discourse as a nation. Things were good. Things were prosperous. We were moving forward intellectually, and I think if there had been, whether you want to call it disclosure or discovery, that we were not alone in the universe, or even an even bigger one, that aliens were in fact coming to this planet, that there'd have been some people that went, oh fuck, and maybe had a pant pooping moment. But for the most part, we'd have been cool. You want to get lunch? Let's get lunch. And would have ushered in a whole new era of intellectual discourse and discovery. We have fallen so far. I mean, we intellectually, and we've really learned to embrace ignorance, and we are, there is such a push, and I think this can bend into, and not too harshly, it is a conspiracy of sorts, because the quote-unquote elites, and when I say elites, I just mean the wealthy and the powerful, who are educated, know it is far easier to control a population that is stupid than it is to control a population that is not. And when you look at these people, there has been such an effort for the past going on 18 years to dumb down not just America but the world, to get them to embrace fundamental religious beliefs, and to poo-poo science, and to embrace ignorance, and to embrace this tribal mentality. If it came out now that we were being visited by aliens, you're right, people would lose their shit.
It would be like the purge situation. Like, I feel like people would start killing each other. There would be mass riots and people freaking out and fleeing and doing
and it would end after a while, but it would not be pretty.
And it's funny that anti-intellectualism, I feel like, has been around on and off for a long time.
Absolutely.
But it does it ebbs, and it's longer than normal. I feel
it's
because the Revenge of the Nerds time kind of was an anti it was.
Well, but that was also that sort of old American ideal of strong man good, smart man bad. It's so funny. We hear these myths we grow up with, and I think my generation way more than your generation. But that song, the captain of the football team is the most popular guy in school, and the head cheerleader, and they're the ones. When you're in high school, they're the ones getting laid all the time and having fun and whatever. Let me tell you something. Never was there a bigger bacchanal than the drama department at every high school.
Yeah, no kidding. Band kids? Come on.
Band kids and drama. I was a drama kid. I was not and it was basically an orgy.
All the time.
Yeah. Insane.
Yeah, we're all nerds, but they're all hormonal.
But also
you're always together.
But we're also more open emotionally.
Yeah, that's true.
In that sense, I mean.
So
if you're in Middle America and you think trying to get on the football team is going to get you laid, read your Othello, my friend, and try out for the drama department.
Even in Mean Girls, the movie, they're like sexually active band geeks. It's like one of the groups in school.
Yeah.
It's like so true.
Absolutely. You know, no. There's that. That's why that American Pie line this one time at band camp is so popular, because it's true.
Yeah, it is.
So anyway, so there's this old mentality that sort of, you know, masculinity, femininity sort of thing, and we were really, so back in the Revenge of the Nerds days, it was sort of the beginning of the nerds winning, you know, where we have won. The geeks have won, in a sense.
Yeah.
But we are in these small urban hubs. Los Angeles, San Francisco, New York, Chicago, Atlanta. Urban areas, and when I say urban, I mean cities, not inner city, but cities over rural areas, tend to be far more intellectual. Tend to be a lot more open-minded, of course, because you're dealing with people.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But when it comes to population, you know, okay, there are the rural areas. There's just more people overall in the rural areas. And they've really done an amazing job of dumbing down these people. And maybe not dumbing down, but getting them to stay not only in that old society of strong, good, smart, weak, but promoting it. And that's power, man. I mean, it's one of the reasons Trump was able to get elected. And we were talking about low information voters last week. So if aliens are coming, unfortunately now, it could destroy us.
Yeah.
But let's not assume that they're good people, the aliens.
Yeah.
Let's not assume that they're here for our benefit. Maybe they're here for their benefit. I mean, you know.
It's funny because I always assumed. Well, I don't know, actually. I think now I always assume that aliens are good, but maybe it's because I have less faith in human people. But I think when I was a kid, I really couldn't watch any, like, alien invasion movies because it would, like, really freak me out.
Or, you know, maybe it's not even that they're evil.
Yeah.
They just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, don't get me wrong, and I know this sounds terrible, but, like, when I go to a foreign country, I enjoy the cuisine, the culture, whatever. And then I go back home. And to be honest with you, I don't really give a fuck. You know, it's like I'm enjoying, you know what I mean? Like I'm not going to go there and spend time there and then all of a sudden go, I'm heavily invested in the welfare of these people.
Yeah.
No, I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
I'm here to have a good time. You know, and I'm not saying they're coming here on vacation. I'm saying maybe there's just, it's like that thing where they're just studying us or I think I brought this up on the Roswell thing, which is we have a lot to offer. If you are a spacefaring civilization, we're the gas station at Baker, you know, on the way to Vegas, you know, fresh water, high mineral content, ho-hos.
Yeah.
You know, look, man, if you're in deep space for like 6 months, I don't care if you're from this planet or not, you're going to want a box of Little Debbie snack cakes. Just something to break up the monotony.
Yeah.
And also, maybe we're being visited by multiple alien races that have agreements with each other, or agreements with us, or they're at war and we're Switzerland. Or maybe they're really just either interdimensional, like you said, they're invisible, we can't see them, but they're around us, or they're coming from a parallel universe. I used to have this theory. I don't know if it's still very valid, because you know, UFO sightings, of course, are, you know, very different. You know, each sighting can be very different. But some UFOs have windows, and some don't.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, and my problem is, you don't need windows on a spaceship. You need video monitors, but you don't need windows. And if you're traveling through space, you don't want windows.
Yeah.
You want a really solid hull.
Yeah.
You know, so shit can bounce off. nothing like, wow, look at this window, and then a micrometeorite punches through it, and yes, I understand the aliens have the technology to make non-breakable glass, but also somebody's got to clean that shit. So an interstellar craft doesn't need windows. So the UFOs you see, or whoever sees with windows, those are interdimensional or multiverse craft. You're just going from Earth to Earth.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
And the ones without windows are interstellar craft.
Or they're coming like from underground.
Or whatever. Right? Yeah, sure. But they're basically terrestrial craft.
Yeah.
And if you think about that, if there is a parallel universe where, let's say, they're at constant war, okay, and you have these UFO-looking ships, but they're really just terrestrial craft. I mean, maybe they can go into low orbit, whatever. And flying from the equivalent of America to the equivalent of the eastern coast of Brazil, there are 900 different opportunities for you to get your ass shot down in that trip, but you have the ability to hop to a different universe and traverse that distance in peace and then pop back into your universe at the new location without getting shot down.
Yeah.
So you fly from, say, California, or the equivalent of California. You fold yourself into our universe. Okay, so you're hopping through the multiverse, you're in our universe, and you fly from America to the eastern coast of Brazil, and then you activate your portal or whatever, and you fold back into your universe, and now you're safe.
Yeah.
And so windows on that craft.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why some of these aliens do look human.
Yeah.
Because they're not aliens.
Yeah. That's right.
Maybe they evolved on their planet and they look very similar to us, but it's a different universe with different evolutionary winners. So that's where I'd go. Okay, but I think there's a lot of reasons to believe why aliens would actually be coming here. Why we wouldn't know about them. And then, people can keep a fucking secret, man.
Yeah. Are there people that think that we are evolved from aliens? Like, the Bible story, like the Genesis.
Well, the Bible folks don't.
No. Well, I would not.
But we can do a whole episode, and we probably should. That there are, you can interpret the Bible one of two ways. Well, you can interpret the Bible a lot of different ways, which is that it is the Word of God, and that this shit happened, and it's all true. And you can interpret it as they're just stories, and it's hokum. Or, some of these things where you go, this is someone describing an alien encounter and just didn't have the references.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, I know people who believe in the Bible wouldn't think that, but are there people who think that the Bible is a story of, like, this alien event that happened?
They think I'm sure there are people that believe that wholeheartedly. Yeah. I know for a fact there are people that go, okay, this is not a story of God. This is a story of alien intervention. Where they and again, remember, a lot of the stories from the Bible aren't original.
Right.
They're retellings of very ancient stories from Sumeria and other things like that. Like,
I saw Bill Maher's
Religious. But like the story of Noah is, I believe, Sumerian. And so that's probably even older than we think. So yeah, there are people that that definitely think that, and it's highly possible.
Yeah.
In my opinion, which doesn't amount to much. But I do think it is highly possible that you can keep a secret. There are reasons why an alien wouldn't want to tell you they're here. They don't care about you.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not evil. Maybe they just don't care. It's like, you know what? I'm not here for you, man. Yeah. We got our own fucking problems. I'm just here to pick up some fresh water and you.
Yeah.
And there are reasons for them to collude with the people in power. Yeah, absolutely. You think they're here?
I don't know.
Do you think they've come here?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
But I don't know that they're still here.
Yeah.
But I don't see why they wouldn't.
Yeah, I think they come and go.
Yeah.
And I think it's highly possible that, you know, if in the end, for no logical reason I can think of, that bipedal life forms are actually very, very common. It's because a very, very ancient race that in the center of the galaxy where life probably evolved much sooner than here. We're way on the edge in Hickville of the Milky Way galaxy. Evolved as a bipedal species and sent that genetic material out into the galaxy, and through panspermia or whatever, we all sort of got that basic DNA sludge. We're like intergalactic sea monkeys, where you know, you just send out the package and you add water and we evolve, and we don't all evolve the same way.
Yeah.
But in the exact, we're not exact replicas or copies, but we're all pretty close.
Yeah.
You know, or you know, there is that whole ancient alien genetic manipulation thing where the aliens came and they took monkeys and manipulated us, or Cro-Magnon man and manipulated us to turn us into what we are. But again, that is also all under the impression that these were bipedal, you know, humanoid-looking things. Because if you're an alien race that's bipedal, you're going to be, I would think, somewhat influenced by your own physiology and go, okay, well, let's manipulate the monkeys.
Yeah.
But if you come down and you get out of your spaceship and you've got, you know, you're like some sort of spider centaur thing where, you know, you've got 8 legs and 9 arms and whatever, why wouldn't you manipulate spiders? You know, or splice spider genes into human genes and make 8-legged centaur thingies that can run around really fast and climb up trees and shoot silk out of the butt and carry stuff really heavy. So, you know, I don't know.
Peter Parker. That's what they made.
Yeah.
They did a hybrid.
Yeah, absolutely. He's the product of alien conspiracy.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're at 40 minutes. I believe that there are a lot of reasons to keep a secret.
Yeah.
I actually give it very much 50-50 odds that aliens do come here, that there is a reason to keep it quiet, and maybe it's malevolent, maybe they just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's a power exchange. You know, we give them stuff, they give us stuff. And but again, every person in government that you know about doesn't know about aliens.
Yeah. It's
the people you've never heard of and will never hear about that know and are in contact with an extraterrestrial or interdimensional parallel universe species.
Yeah.
So anyway, what do you think, everybody? Let us know. Angie, thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We're gonna talk about more stuff, and we got some cool episodes coming up. We got 9/11. That's actually still very fascinating. Time travel, some other stuff. I don't know. Tune in.
Yeah.
YouTube. But this is the George Street Shuffle. Go to incompetech.com for royalty-free music. Kevin MacLeod is a very, very talented composer. Go to my website, jonathanladd.com. Pick up my book, The Geek. I got a novella coming out next year and a novel. And then 2 novels coming out in 2019. So buy my shit so I can keep not getting a real job.
Yeah. Some of us have to have a real job.
Sorry, Angie. And follow Angie on Twitter. She hates that.
Huh? What? I don't know. I just really bitch about politics most of the time.
So do I. Yeah. Help me get banned by the President of the United States of America. Maybe if we work together more on that, we gotta coordinate.
What if I tweeted him? I've never tweeted. Well, maybe I have, but if I tweeted him once, what if I get blocked right away? How mad would you be?
Oh, I'd be crushed. I'd be happy for you.
Yeah.
But I'd be a little crushed.
Yeah.
I'd be a little crushed. All right, everybody. Listen, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you all next week. Bye, Ange.
Bye.
Bye, YouTube.
Bye.